What are we looking for? Why do we go from one desire to another? I suppose there is a reason why binging videos in YouTube it's so popular nowadays, or Netflix, right, or any other service. Nothing satisfies the soul until it meets the one that forms it. But to get there, where he is, we must face our fear and have faith to climb up into the mountain of uncertainty where God descends to reveal himself. My friends, the scary mystery of God. What God wants to do with us as his creation. How he wants to meet us. There is a very interesting story in Exodus chapter 19, where the Israelites arrived at Sinai to meet Yahweh and receive everything they need to function as a nation, namely the covenant of God and the people. All God asks for the people is to listen to his voice. In verse 5, we can read that. Let's read it. 19 verse 5, it says, and now if you will diligently listen to me and keep my covenant, then you will be my special possession out of all the nations, for all the earth is mine. Verse 6 says, and you will be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you will speak to the Israelites, God says to Moses. Now to this Yahweh asked the people to prepare themselves before they receive this reality of representing his name among the nations as priests. Yahweh, God tells them, or tells Moses to prepare the people to meet him on the third day. Now the third day is a formula in the Torah of a testing moment, guys. So here we're going to see that God is going to test the people, the Israelites. Are they going to want more of God? Are they going to want to see him, to meet him in intimacy? Or not? Or are they going to be okay just with their situation in their life? God himself will descend on the mountain to let the people approach his presence. Look what verse 11 says. And be ready for the third day. For on the third day, Yahweh will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. Now, if we keep reading, God tells Moses, right? Prepare them, sanctify them, make boundaries around the mountain. And when the horn sounds, that's when the people can come into the mountain. Come and meet me there. They need to wait for the horn. But when it sounds, tell them, come. I want to meet them. I want to make them my people. I want to show them who I am in a personal, deep relationship. Are they going to do it or not? Are we going to do it or not? Are we going to meet God deeply in intimacy? Are we going to pursue the spiritual life that is from eternal quality, that surpasses anything in this world? Or are we going to be okay with where we are right now? Listening is obeying what he says to us. That's what the word listening means in the Hebrew, is the word Shema. Shema, Shema, listen and obey. And that's what we need to become his special treasure, a kingdom of priests. And reminds me of what Peter says. Peter says that we are called to be a holy nation. Right? That's what he said in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. And this whole picture of the kingdom of priests is an image that reminds us of what happened in Genesis chapter 1 when God created humanity. On the image of God, he created them, where God walked with man and woman in the garden when they were naked and there was no shame. And there was complete freedom, and there was a complete representation of who God was to the world. That's what he wants to us. Now, the calling of God is not going to be soothing. It's not going to be pretty at times. It's not going to be pink color, candy flavor. It could be very scary. If you keep reading from verses 16 until the end of the chapter 25, when God descends upon the mountain, there is thunders, there is earthquakes. It's scary, it's a big storm. But guess what? God is calling the Israelites through the storm. And if we want to know God, we need to be willing to leave our comfort zone. We need to stop pleasing our flesh and trust that where God is leading us, that's the best thing that can happen to us, even if it looks scary at the moment. What type of a storm are you experiencing today, my friend? Could it be that it's the Lord testing you to see if you want to know Him deeply in that storm? I believe it is. I believe if there is a mountain of uncertainty in your life right now, it's because God is trying to call for your attention so you can meet Him there in a new and profound way. But you must trust. You must trust that it's He calling you. Interesting, because in that section, verses 16 to the end of chapter 19, at some point God is going to tell Moses, you know what? Tell them not to come anymore. Stop them, because if they come, they're going to die. Well, what happened? The horn sounded at the third day, and it says in the Bible that it kept sounding louder and louder, but we never see the people coming up. And suddenly we see God telling Moses, stop them. Don't let them come. What happened? What happened? Did God change His mind? Is He contradicting Himself? I don't think so. I don't think so. If we read verses 18 to 21 of chapter 20, I believe we have an answer of what happened in the moment in the heart of the people. Let's read it. All the people were seeing the thundering and the lightning, and heard the sound of the horn, and saw the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled with fear and kept their distance. They said to Moses, you speak to us and we will listen, but do not let God speak with us, lest we die. Oh. The people got afraid. They didn't trust God. They look at the moment, at the scary moment, and they didn't trust that they could have find God deeply in that moment. And therefore they kept their distance. This is too scary. This is not for me. You, Moses, you tell us. You can be the priest, but I don't believe I can. It's too scary. And therefore they couldn't meet God deeply in intimacy. Look what Moses said. Do not fear, for God has come to test you, that the fear of Him may be before you, so that you do not sin. But the people kept their distance, but Moses drew near the thick darkness where God was. God was in the thick darkness, my friends. Moses was able to discover Him because he trusted Him, but not the people. We can be close, but at the same time so far away from God. We can be at church, we can read our Bibles, we can pray before lunch. But at the same time in our hearts we can disobey Him and not truly trust Him. Therefore we're never gonna meet Him for real. We're never gonna know Him. We either follow Him or not. If we keep our distance from Him, we may end up walking away from Him. Remember what Jesus said in Mark chapter 8, verse 34? If anyone wants to follow Him, follow me, let them deny themselves, took upon their cross, and follow me. And that sounds scary, certainly for the flesh. But that's the only way that we can truly meet Him. God is calling us into a deeper life with Him, where we can know Him fully, in all His glory. That may be scary for sinners like us, to walk freely with a holy God. We may have mountains of worldly desires, And we're afraid of what God will do to them if we fully met Him. But the Spirit and the testimony of His Son should give us complete confidence that the darkness of uncertainty will lead us to the abundant life that is only founded where man meets God. And that, my friends, is the scary mystery of God. May God bless you.